What's going on, Diligent Minds community? I'd like to welcome you all, old and new, to another episode of the Diligent Minds podcast. I want to say thank you to every single one of you. You mean so much to me. All the reviews, messages, emails, I appreciate it all, every single one of you. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself. If you want to say something, I'm here. You can reach out to me. I'm a human, and I'm here to talk to you. I'm always happy to connect with listeners. So if you're someone who want to talk to me, want to say anything, feel free to reach out to me on IG. The link is down below, or you can search me, Dorian Jones _, and that is me replying to you. I got you. But other than that, I just want to see how y'all doing. How you feeling today? How's your energy? How was your weekend? How was last week for you? Is some things that you carry with you that you don't want to take into this week? If it's some things that you want to continue to practice, I want you to reevaluate yourself. Think about where you're going as we transition into this last end of the year. Well, last quarter, we approaching it now. So what are some things that you want to change in your life? What things do you want to continue to do? What things are you proud of, not proud of? Just do an evaluation on yourself. Be honest with yourself. And it's okay. Don't make yourself feel guilty, but do hold yourself accountable and make that decision to change, because it's all up to you. If you're going to continue on the same path, or if you're going to change things, you're going to continue to improve, or what decision are you going to make that's going to align with you in the future. Don't forget to check out all the links down below in the show notes. We have coaching available. We have YouTube. I wasn't able to do my YouTube live this past week, but we will be back this week because I went to the dentist and I didn't know that they were going to give me these shots in my face, well, my gums, and my mouth was so numb and hurting after that. It's still kind of hurting right now a little bit. So I couldn't do the live. I just had to get that pain out of there. So my apologies, but we are live this week, Thursday. I will send a reminder on the podcast. You will be reminded on Thursday about the YouTube live so that I can be more of you, because I'm always excited to connect with you all. Other than that, check out all the links down below. New YouTube video is up as well, where I talk about my journey of how I relate running to my goals and how you can relate it to your goals and how we can use it in everyday life as well. All those links are down there, so check that out. And don't forget to leave a rating and review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Today's episode, we're talking about rebuilding your confidence after life knocks you down. And let me tell you, I'm somebody to talk about this right now. Trust me, I got my ass knocked out by life. Life hit me hard. It's like, you know what? Look, we gonna knock you out real quick. You've been winning. You haven't really faced any real adversity. So we need to challenge you a little bit more. And I feel like when life knocked me out, when it laid me down, I was like, this is my real test. This is the test that I never had in my life, because things always seem to work out for me. Things always seem to just be on the up and up. And I know that there's moments where we're going to face things that feel like a down moment, but it's part of the process. But during that time, it was feelings and things that I had never faced before, challenges that I never even thought about. And sometimes I thought I was immune to those things because I had never faced them. But let me tell you, when life hit me, it was like, nah, we're going to hit you with the hardest test that you could have in your life. And I feel like sometimes I'm still in the transition of going through that and getting out of it. But one thing that I did develop was the right mindset. I understood that I couldn't sit in it. I couldn't feel bad for myself. I couldn't make excuses. It's about, how can I change? How can I grow beyond this? So as we're talking about that, I want you to think about a moment where life knocked you out, where it challenged you in a way that you had never been challenged before. One thing that I realized was that I had to accept that it happened, and I couldn't deny it. I couldn't deny it because denial is the not acceptance, so that doesn't allow you to really grow and heal from it. And that confidence begins to crumble when you try to act like everything okay when you know it's not. When the thing's right in front of you, not looking the way that you want them to look, but you're trying to hold that in there because you're not accepting the fact that it happened. The thing is, you accept it, but you don't attach yourself to it. You accept that things not working out the way that you want it, but you saying, I'm not going to hold myself to this. I'm not going to attach myself to this outcome because this is not what I desire. This is not the end of it. I know that I'm in the middle of my story. I know that there's still more to go, and I accept that. I understand that. So if you're going through it, or when you do go through it, because it's inevitable for us to not go through these moments in life where, things just don't work out, whether you don't get the job, whether you don't have everything lined up for you, or you don't have all the money. It's different things. Everybody's going to be challenged in a different way. I want you to write it down. Write down what happened and how it made you feel. And the key is being honest with yourself. Just being true to yourself, because this is you talking to you. This is you talking in the mirror. This isn't you talking to your friends. This isn't you talking to a therapist or a stranger. This is you being real with yourself, saying, how did we come to this point? What things could I have done different? So write these things down and say, what can I do different? How can I make a change? What things do I not want to repeat? So do it with no filter. When you do this journaling, what it does is it allows you to turn that spinning mental battle into something that you can face head on, into something that you can tackle and see, this is the change that I need to make. This is the direction I need to go. Because if you don't do it, you're going to stay in your head and you're going to go into those thoughts every single time. You're going to think the negative all the time. Think of the worst case scenarios. So write these things down, but don't hold yourself on to them. The next step of what I want you to do is I want you to reframe the story that you're telling yourself. Because if we lose a job or something don't work out for us, it's easy to say that I'm not good enough. It's easy to blame ourselves and kick our own selves in the butt. And the stories that we tell ourselves is what hurt us the most. These are the things that hurt the most because we sit in our head a lot. We have those moments where we're sitting with ourselves and we're thinking about our current situation and how it could be different, how we're not good enough, what things we didn't do, what things we should have done. It's all these different thoughts that's in your mind. Anytime you catch yourself saying, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough, transition it into something else. Say that I'm a work in progress. I'm in the middle of my story. I'm in transition. Find these different words to tell yourself. Because when you tell yourself you're a failure, then your mind is going to believe it. The only thing that's true is what you tell yourself. So you must be mindful of the words that you say. You must be mindful of the things that you speak. Because these things can turn into your reality real fast. I'm not talking about you saying this stuff here and there. No, you must speak light into yourself. You must speak positivity into yourself, despite what your current reality is, despite what doesn't look right for you in the moment. So if you have something negative happening, say the opposite of what's happening. Change the narrative. You decide where you're going to be based on the words that you tell yourself. You decide what you accept based on the thoughts that you have. So you choose these things carefully. You surround yourself with people who are going to speak life into you. Surround yourself with people who are going to remind you that you're doing good, that you're not a failure, that you're not behind. If you have people around you that's going to fuel these things, then it's going to make it even worse. It's going to make you feel bad. It's going to put you in a low vibrational state. And we need to vibrate at a high frequency. But when I tell you, when I faced it, the thing that really carried me over was my mind, was me telling myself that this is not the end. I'm not going to quit. And what really helped me with that was having a purpose. This podcast was here for me. Me being able to speak to y'all, me being able to access people to change their lives. That was what helped me because I had my purpose. I had my passion. I had the thing that fueled me despite what my life was looking like on the outside. How was I going to operate within? How was my internal frequency? How was my internal energy going to feed out positivity into the world? How am I going to change my life based on the thoughts that I have, based on the things that I recite? That's what helped me. So I want you to think about the thing that can help you when you're going through those moments. The things you're telling yourself. What are you saying? What are you believing? What are your most frequent thoughts? Think about a movie. You have a movie, you have the climax, and then you have something that happens in the movie. It's always going to be some type of obstacle, some type of tragedy, or something that they're going to have to grow from. In these movies, do you see your favorite characters or favorite actors or actresses stop and say, you know what, this happened, this is the end of the movie. Nah, we done. No, you see them rise above it. You see them pick up the lesson from it. They grow. They do something great. And it's the same with you. Just because it's in the movie doesn't mean that it's false. This is your movie that you're living right now. The movie that you're living right now, how are you going to craft it? How is the rest of your movie going to turn out? Because we're not worried about what happened before. We can't go back and change that. We can learn from it. We can grow from it. And we can apply the lessons that we wish we had learned or that we did learn to our future. We can apply them from this point going forward. So when you think about your story, how is it going to play out? How are you going to make changes? How are you going to grow past this low moment in your life where you feel like everything is against you, everything is crushing against you? You still here for a reason. You still here and have that mindset for a reason. And you know what really tells me that you're different is that you chose to listen to this type of podcast. You chose growth over nonsense. You chose growth over all the things that's gossiping, talking about how you're not good enough or talking about other people. So that tells me that you're a different character. That tells me that you're a different person, that you're a strong person. So that says a lot about you. I want you to give yourself a round of applause because this is a form of you showing up for yourself, because you're fueling into you somebody that's speaking life into you, that's reminding you that you are doing good, that you are transitioning, you are going to make it a great life. You chose to listen to this type of podcast, so that tells me the type of person you are. So that there tells you that I'm good enough. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get past this. So let that be your proof that your story is unfolding the way that it's supposed to, because you continue to show up for yourself despite things in your life not looking right, despite things not feeling the way that you want them to feel. You still showing up here every single day, every single week. And I'm proud of you, and be proud of yourself for that. And as you come out of these moments, start with one small promise to yourself. Just one small promise, one thing that you know you can deliver on for yourself. You owe it to you. And this matters because confidence equals self-trust. And that trust is built by you keeping promises. When you tell yourself that you're going to go to the gym and you see that you're consistent with that, you be like, hold on, look at you. Like, I see you out there doing it. You become proud of yourself because you committed yourself to it. You said that you're going to go and get this done, and you stuck to it. You say you're going to eat more healthy. You begin to do it. You say you're going to wake up early, and you actually stick to that commitment. These are the small things that build that confidence. So what promise are you going to make to yourself? What promise are you delivering on for you? What's one thing that you need to do for yourself that you've been putting off? One thing that you know can change your life, or one thing that you just been thinking about? What's that promise you can commit to? Commit to this promise for yourself, because you owe it to yourself. You owe it to nobody else. Nobody else is going to get up and do this thing for you. No one else is going to get up and work out for you. No one else is going to feed their body and then it's going to give you the fuel. No, this is that one thing for you, because you owe it to yourself. Remember, the story that we write, the person that you're becoming, how does that person look? How are they operating every single day? What things are they not doing that they did in the past? In the past of the story and behind the pages that you've already went through, what things were you doing that you don't want to do anymore? What things you said you're going to do that you haven't done yet? This is your opportunity to start now. So if life knocked you down, this is that moment for you to get back up, stronger, more committed, more serious about your life, about your story. If a house get knocked down, you don't just get up there and just start building it and it's done in one day. No, you build it brick by brick. You start with the foundation. You get that right. Then you get your plumbing done. You get your internal guts done. You get the walls built up. And then you build everything else. Then you look up and say, look, my house is done. It's the same with your life. Build that great foundation. Build that solid foundation that can't be taken away from you no matter what. That's not going to make you crumble. Then build everything else on top of that. And when we get knocked down, it's hard. Well, our mind going to talk to us, going to talk about all the losses and everything. I want you to track your wins, no matter how small they are, no matter how minor they seem to you. Track those small wins, because this goes with what we just said about building confidence. This is the part that your mind understands, is seeing the results. We did what we said we're going to do. And it feeds that dopamine into you that you need to just get that energy, just get that motivation. Because understand this about your brain. It forgets progress when you're discouraged. It forgets all the progress when you get in your mind, when you begin to talk to yourself. You need the evidence. You need the proof that you're good enough. And that's what this does. At the end of your day, write down one win that you had today. If you can't think of anything, do something as simple as, I got out of the bed. I took a shower. I cleaned my living room. I did something that you did that if you would have just laid in the bed and just not did anything, wouldn't have gotten done. So start with these small wins. I don't care if you applied for one job, you picked up the phone and you responded to a friend. It can be as little as those things. These moments that we take for granted that we don't think are huge. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do. So give yourself credit for these small wins and let them compound, let them build up. I want you to do that for yourself, because It's going to give you the courage to continue to move forward. Because it could have been 5 days before where you didn't want to get out the bed. You didn't have the strength. You didn't even feel like living. But look at you. You up now. You moving your legs. You got up. You took a shower. You brushed your teeth. Some people get that low and they have those moments where they just don't want to do anything. They just sit in their pain. But you didn't. You got up and you did something. So remember to write down that one thing that you did today. The end of the day, if you don't do anything else, write down, I got out of bed. That's a win for you. And as you transition out of this stage, when you get knocked down, it's all about rebuilding your environment. But the beautiful thing is, you can create the environment that you want. Just like we talked about on last week's episode about creating your own university once you get out of high school and once you become an adult, you do the same thing with your life. And you can do this at any stage. You don't necessarily have to get knocked down. You don't need to have these moments where you have tragedy or you have a low moment. You could change it at any stage of your life. Because that confidence that we're talking about building, it becomes fragile when you're around negativity or you're around old triggers, things that don't serve you, the things that don't feed into you. These things become fragile. You think about you being a positive person and then you're around someone who's negative, who always talks about how things not working out for them, how they always talk about their problems, but they never have a solution. They never have a goal. They don't have any positivity. They don't think anything's going to work out for them. They're like, well, I don't see why it's going to happen. I don't see how it's going to happen. They live on hopes and wishes. They hoping things happen. They wishing it'll happen, but they never apply themselves to make it happen. They never had the confidence to make these things happen. And I know, you know, these people that are like this, maybe you're one of those people like this and you didn't even realize it. It's time to switch that up. It's time to change that, because you need to change your mental environment. You need to change your physical environment, the people you're around, the places you're around. How are they feeding into you? And you really need this type of support when you're building yourself back up. You already in your own head because you're not the person that you felt like you were before. But the beautiful thing is, you don't realize that you're becoming a better person. Out of all these things that are happening to you, you are becoming much better and you don't even realize it. So do an audit on your environment. That can even be the content that you engage with. Is it fueling you? Is it feeding into you? What things do you need to swap out? Where would you like to go and what aligns with that? Does the things in your life align with it right now? Or do you need to change them? So I'm going to use my plants for an analogy. If y'all seen me before on YouTube, if you're watching right now, you see my plants behind me. Y'all know I love my plants. If you see me on Instagram, you've seen me share my plants before. But using this as an analogy of you and your environment. You take a plant and then you say, this plant is dying right now. I need to change this environment. But you try to plant in the same soil that has all the negativity in it, that has all the things that don't fuel you, that has all the fungus, and you expect to put yourself back into that environment and grow. You're going to die off. So when I talk about changing your environment, I'm talking about changing your soil. Changing the things that you're around, changing the things that you engage with, the people you engage with. Change your environment and you're going to have new growth that's encouraged, new growth that sprouts up. And it begins to build that confidence. It shows you that it is possible. You're like, hold on, I see some growth right now. Like, all right, I got some faith in this right now. I see how this is working out. So change your soil, change your environments, because that's going to be crucial. It's important to think about who you're around and how they feed into you. And the last thing I want to touch on is just give yourself an opportunity and permission to just be a work in progress, because we always improving. Just because things didn't work out before doesn't mean that everything that you want to do up to this point can't happen for you in an instant, can't happen for you within half of the amount of time. So if you're someone that's in your 30s, you thought you would be somewhere, you can be there before you hit 40. Just apply yourself and make the change. Remember, you always a work in progress. You're never perfect. You weren't put here to figure it out. You weren't put here with all the answers. Some of us were dealt with things that our parents handed to us because they only gave us what they knew. They only taught us the things that they were taught, and they weren't taught much at all. So it's up to us to change the narrative. It's up to us to make the changes and grow from this. And when I say you have confidence, it doesn't mean that you have it all figured out. It just means that you're trusting yourself while you do figure it out. If you don't take anything away from this episode, when you wake up every morning, I want you to tell yourself this: I don't need to be perfect today. I just need to show up once. Think about when a baby learns to walk. No one expects that baby to just begin walking and running in the same day. No, they know it's a process. So give yourself that same grace. It's a process. You're going to get up, you're going to fall a few times, but eventually you continue to take those steps. You will begin to walk. You will begin to run. You will begin to learn how to balance yourself perfectly. And you're going to look like, I don't even remember crawling before. I just remember being on this track. So as we transition out of this episode, I want you to remember that confidence isn't something that you magically get back. If you get knocked down, confidence doesn't come back right away. It's built up brick by brick by the results that you see, by you continuing to show up. It's built by that consistency. And the fact that you're still standing, that you're listening to this right now, that you didn't give up, that tells me that you had a foundation to build something great and continue to prosper despite what happened to you, despite what knocked you down. So that wraps up for today's episode. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone. Truly appreciate you. Don't forget to check out all the links down below and hit that subscribe button if you're listening on YouTube, or if you're watching on YouTube, I should say. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave a rating and review. And don't forget to check out all the links down below. Hit me up on IG, check out YouTube. Other than that, go out there and be great. Remember that you're a work in progress, and give yourself grace. Hit an outro with an end. You know what that means. Everybody is greatest within.